I'm Darlene Adatlim, and I will discuss to you the introduction and the preview of our family case scenario. So let me give you this quote before we start. Call it a clan, call it a network, call it a tribe, call it a family, whatever you call it, whoever you are, you need one. It's quote from Jane Howard. So to give you an overview of our story, Marco is a 36-year-old who is the head of the family, and he provides for the family by working as a full-time company driver in one of the known pharmaceutical companies in Toronto. Teresa, his wife, is 34 years old and a full-time bank teller in downtown Toronto, and they have two children named Tyler and Isabel. The Soriano family is an extended family living in an apartment in the North York area in Toronto. So living with Marco and Teresa are Marco's parents, who is Robert and Daniela. And as Filipinos, they have close family ties, and that is why having an extended family is very common in their culture. Taking care of Robert, 72 years old, and Daniela, who is 70 years old, will be away from Marco's family, thanking them for taking care of their grandkids when they are out working.
Hi everyone, my name is Jigme, and I'm going to talk about our family case scenario. Well, Marco family consists of his parents, Mr. Robert, his father, Mrs. Anila, his mother, wife Teresa, Tyler, Marco and Teresa's son, Isabel, Marco and Teresa's daughter, and Marco's sister and brother lives around the city. Mrs. Teresa family lives in Philippines, but her father was died on 2011 due to heart attack. While in this family member was going smoothly, but unfortunately one day Mrs. Anila fell down to running after Tyler, since Tyler was total and loved to running inside the house. Due to very bad falls, Mrs. Anila got hip fracture. While after 2 months of those incidents, they received a message from Tyler daycare about Tyler's behavior, especially his speech. They concerned with the doctor with regards to Tyler. Actually, Anila noticed few months ago about Tyler behavior, but they just ignored it and wasn't know it as something serious. When they done everything like doctor visit and special examination and tests, they received a Tyler report, and Tyler was diagnosed with autism. They have so much preoccupied and overwhelmed with all the dilemma happening in their family.
My name is Punjab Doma, and today I'm gonna discuss on the main issue and problems in the family. First one is Anila's post-hip fracture recovery. Second one is struggling with the decision making about Anila's whether to provide her home care. Third one is Marco and Teresa's lack of time to take care of the children. And fourth one is financial support for the family current needs, especially the Anila's rehabilitation and Tyler's current diagnosis. Number fifth one is Roberto's depression and other health related issues. And number six is Tyler's diagnosis of autism. Number seven one is mental, emotional, physical stress of the family because of the current situation. And number eight one is problem in care of Marco's parents. And the number nine is work related stress for both Marco and Teresa.
Now I'm going to talk about genogram based on my case scenario that include Mr. Robert, 72 years old. He was diagnosed with diabetes, hypertension and depression. Mrs. Anila, 70 years old. He had a fall and diagnosed with hip fracture. Currently she lives in nursing home. They have 3 children. Marco, 36-year-old, working as a company driver. 34 years old. Enrique, Marco younger brother, work in the construction area. And 29 years old Lisa, Marco younger sister, working as a nurse. Now about the Teresa family, Mr. John, he was diagnosed with hypertension and he got a heart attack on 2011. And Mrs. Angelica, 65 years old, she lives in Philippines and they have two children. Estela, 37 years old, Teresa, elder sister, she also lives in Philippines. Teresa, 34 years old, she's working as a bank teller. Marco and Teresa, they got married and they have two children, 8 years old, Isabel, their daughter, and 2 years old Tyler, their son, and Tyler was diagnosed with autism. Now I'm going to conclude my part with managing child behavior problem in children with autism. The children with developmental disability parents are facing lots of emotion stress and physical fatigue. Children with autism also facing like a social isolation. They are feeling loneliness, and these children are more depending on their parents. So we healthcare team has to more focus on their coping mechanism, social support, self-efficacy, and encourage family member to how to deal with a stressful situation and explore the availability of many resources in the community. Thank you so much.
So here is the eco map of Soriano's family. Eco map is a simple visual assessment tools used to highlight the relationship with each other and the relationship with the network. As you can see on the slide, it shows the social and personal relationship of an individual and the family as a whole with his or her ecological environment, and also it gives a clear picture where to improve. So on the slide below are the keys which shows weak, stressful, strong, and flow resources connection.
Hello, and now I'm gonna discuss to you about the articles related to our family case scenario. So I will be discussing the first article, which is entitled Working with Families Who Have Children with Autism Spectrum Conditions. So this article describes the 4 components of the Keyhole Early Intervention Model for preschoolers with autism. It includes resources, a resource kit for newly diagnosed families, home-based intervention, and programs to develop social and communication skills, training workshops for parents, and educational modules. Using this intervention can help in existing strengths of the families, communities, and healthcare personnel, and provide opportunity to evaluate practices and traditions.
I'm going to discuss on article number 4, which is parenting style and parent perception on their own emotion affect the functioning of children with autism. In brief, the article states that parents with autism children has high level of stress and poor mental health which influence the functional improvement of the children. So the parents should adjust their own mindset so that they have more positive perception of the children and more tolerance on the symptoms. Social support and family therapy will be helpful in day-to-day life and dealing emotions. Parenting program is helpful and focus on positive parenting skills which helps in functioning improvement in the children and thus reduce the stress. So it is very important to parents who have children with autism must learn positive parenting skills.
So I will be discussing the therapeutic questions. First question is, what are the 5 therapeutic questions you would ask and engage the family in? So first, what is the problem from your viewpoint? How do you see the problem, or how do you define it? What changes have taken place with your family since the problem existed? With your family's current situation, do you think you have sufficient support and resources? How does this family problem typically make you feel? Do you feel sad, mad, hopeless, stuck, or what? What have you done to work on the family problem so far, and how did they work?
Recommendations for the family. I am very happy that both of you are determined to help your mother and your children despite your busy life. Your goals in dealing with your problems is very admirable. If I could say, it seems that one of you is willing to give up their job to be able to commit in taking care of your loved ones. Making decisions like that is very admirable, and that only shows that you are willing to sacrifice for your family. This is pretty important stuff. Addressed to Marco and Teresa. Marco answered, yes, one must sacrifice to be able to take care of them and provide all their needs, especially for my son who needs support from us, his parents. The nurse replied, I can imagine how stressful this is for you with regards to what happened to your mother and now to your son. You have been patient with all the changes that is happening to the family, and you are doing all your best to take care of the family. That clearly shows your character as a person, and I respect you for that. It must be tough having to leave your job for you, your in-laws and children. That is very admirable. You are holding your family together, and I believe that is important. Addressed to Teresa. Family care plan. Devise a care plan for your family in the story. What interventions would you implement at this time? And 5 primary interventions you would use for your family. And explain your rationale. What are your priorities for this family? Our priorities for this family are the treatment and support system for Tyler being diagnosed with autism, coping strategies and stress management for Marco and Teresa, financial resources for Tyler and Anila's treatment, and management of Roberto's declining health condition and fast recovery for Anila's hip fracture. Family interventions. Number 1, building rapport and trusting relationship with the family through family involvement in their care and decision. The nurse's role is to offer guidance to the family, provide information and resources to address the family's needs, and assist in planning their care. Thus, having a trusting and therapeutic relationship will provide more positive outcome. Families can experience a sense of strength, comfort, and confidence that can be therapeutic and useful. In family-nurse relationship to be effective, there will be need for continuous home visits, family meetings, and conferences discussing plan, intervention, and evaluation of action. I will also regard and respect their beliefs, norms, and cultures. Number 2, gathering information and support system for Tyler, who is diagnosed with autism. I will assess the family's knowledge about the disease as basis and provide more information on how to manage Tyler's psychological and behavioral symptoms, as well as treatment and support for him. Referral to organizations and groups working with autism, such as Children with Special Needs, Autism Speaks Canada, Autism Ontario, to name a few. Family will be able to discuss their experience with the family with the same story. Number 3, sourcing for financial support through collaboration with the social worker. Adding up of the expenditures due to rehabilitation of Anila, treatment for Tyler, potential hiring of babysitter, or Teresa's idea of quitting her job caused Marco's stress and declining health condition. Marco's siblings promised to provide financial support for their parents would not be suffice to the growing needs of the family. As one of the categories in the family reasoning web, I have given priority to financial support and resources as it is one of the most pressing or causing the family the most stress. Number 4, discuss about parent relational problem and formulate solution. Marco and Teresa are thinking of placing Robert to a nursing home and discharge of Anila from hospital in 2 weeks if it will be appropriate for her to go back home with Tyler. As their nurse, it is my role to give guidance, facilitate discussions of options, and help the family in solving the problem with respect to their spiritual beliefs and cultures. Number 5, strengthening their coping mechanisms. I will help them identify their strengths and weaknesses. They will use their strengths to overcome problems and their weaknesses to know their needs and liabilities. I will also provide coping strategies and resources such as counseling, religious affiliations, and others.
To conclude, we will leave you with a phrase to live by. There is no doubt that it is around the family and the home that all the greatest virtues, the most dominating virtues of humans, are created, strengthened, and maintained by Winston Churchill. So this is the end of our presentation. Thank you everyone, and thank you for your time. Have a good day.